us join together in prayer. We give thanks for the wisdom of the ages that comes to us through our faith tradition. And we are reminded that there is a time to speak and there is a time to be silent. May we always be in awe of the mystery of divine love permeating our lives and our world. Amen.
Amen.
So if anyone might have reason to be wallowing in self-pity, it could be Job. As the story begins, God gives Satan free rein to torment Job, just don't kill him. This is to test Job's faith. Job's family and workers are killed. Lightning strikes, his animals die, he gets painful boils all over his body. And through it all, Job has no clue why he is being seemingly targeted for trouble, when he has tried his whole life to be true to God. Well, we might not have experienced all the travails faced by the character Job, but we certainly know what it's like to question why we are suffering so. Why do so many bad things seem to happen to some people? Why aren't we targeted for trouble? Why did we get downsized? Why is our child sick? Why did the drunk driver kill our best friend? Why, and why? When we look at the world around us, we see larger forces. But still there are questions. Why is the economy of our country flagging? Why did we get hit by a hurricane? Why is our race or our nationality looked down upon? Someone, something else is responsible. It's not our fault. We shouldn't have to face this. It's very easy to engage in self-pity, to become self-absorbed, self-consumed, inhabiting a very small reality where everything revolves around, well, me. We humans have this tendency to center our own personal experience or the experience of our tribe or culture. We see what's wrong, we determine what needs to be done about it, and that creates our reality. In the book of Job, Job turns to God for some answers. Why is this happening to me? Subtext. I haven't done anything wrong. And what are you going to do about it, God? Subtext. Because I haven't done anything wrong, I need restitution or at least an explanation. The God figure in the book of Job does not engage in this conversation at all. What Job and we get is a description of the character and power of God, not an analysis of our problem. Can you harness the Pleiades or untie the ropes of Orion? Can you direct the morning star from season to season, or the bear or its cub? There is verse upon verse in the book of of Job, drawing upon imagery from nature, reminding Job that he's not in charge. He's not the center of reality or creation. You know, we tend to see ourselves as the dominant players in the world of industry and technology, so we might not even recognize these references in the book of Job to nature. The Pleiades, Orion, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, these are star constellations. Even the ancients know about these configurations of stars in the night sky. I'm not sure how many people know about that today. The Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters, is an interconnected cosmic structure of over 1,000 stars, 6 to 7 of which are visible to the naked human eye from Earth. It's between 75 and 150 million years old, and some 444 light years away. Now, the ancients might not have known all these details, but they did know about the stars at night, far beyond their ken or control. These references to constellations and to nature in general are to remind Job that he is part of a much larger reality that he is not in charge of, nor are human beings. There are larger forces at work. Our faith reminds us that we are connected to this much bigger reality and the creative forces of love far beyond our wildest imaginings, so that we don't get confined by our little itty-bitty self and our little circumstances. We are part of something so much bigger. And the chasm that's developed between industrialized human culture and the natural world has contributed to obscuring our sense of connection to this larger reality. Being aware of the greater cosmic reality works in several ways. For one thing, it reminds us that we are less than a speck of dust in the scope of creation, multiverses, solar systems, cosmoses, universes, all spanning untold time. So why in heaven's name do we get all charged up about me and mine and my way and my country and my reality? In the scope of space and time, we're a speck of nothing. Our maniacal egos need to be reminded of this. And from another perspective, we must wonder, given the scope of creation and the beauty and the mystery of this tiny little blue speck of a planet, how is it that we are even here? With our intelligence and aptitude and awareness and reason and language and art, what kind of crazy, absurd miracle is this? Just take a breath. It takes your breath away. How is it that we are alive, aware, and given this brief experience of life on this rock hurling through space? In the midst of forces and fields beyond our comprehension, given the vastness of reality, of universes that transcend our comprehension, what are we? Who are we? And can it even matter? What could possibly be the import of the meager 250th anniversary of one blip of a country? Now, several weeks ago, we had the opportunity to visit New York City, and while we were there, we went to the Museum of Modern Art, MoMA. We saw many familiar works of art, including some of the masterpieces by Salvador Dali. And there was a special exhibit featuring paintings by Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. And then in one gallery, there were people crowded around a painting on the far side of the room. I went over to see what it was that was garnering so much attention. Yes, one of the most recognizable paintings of our time, Van Gogh's Starry Night. And if an image doesn't come to mind, you can get your phone out and you can Google Starry Night and you'll see what I'm talking about. I haven't seen the painting for many years. It was smaller than I remember, and certainly smaller than its reputation. There was the vibrant, swirling stars of the night sky that animate that canvas. And the tree in the foreground on the left. The painting was made while Van Gogh spent a year in a mental institution in France. He was inspired by the view from his window, which had bars on it, of the morning star visible just before dawn. Though he was not allowed to paint at night, he could only paint during the day from memory, imagination, and passion. We had access to the audio guide at the museum, so I listened to the information provided. And in the description, there was mention of the town and the church in the painting being patterned after the Dutch towns of Van Gogh's homeland. I was taken aback. I had to look back at the painting more closely. A town? A church? Where was that? I hadn't noticed it in the painting because, of course, you're captivated by the Starry Night. Sure enough, in the foreground, there is a church and with a steeple, and there's a town. But I was so captivated by the stars and the night sky, I didn't even see that evidence of human habitation. You see, art has the capacity to reframe our vision, to help us see reality in new ways. I was captivated by the imagery of nature, the work of the creator, and not by the doings of the creature, except the artist. This is the function of faith and art, perhaps, to reframe our reality, to give us eyes to see reality in new ways, to reconstruct our experience, to restore perspective and balance, or perhaps to disrupt perspective and balance, depending on what's needed. Job wants to make it all about him and his actions and his experience and his victimhood. And in the book of Job, it's clear that there are much larger forces at work which make his circumstances small, minor, and his power and his force immaterial. Do you know the laws of heaven? Can you fix their rule over the earth? God asks Job. The story of Job concludes, I know you can do all things. You have only to think something and it's done. Who is obscuring my plans with such ignorant words, you asked me. That was me. I've been spouting off about things I can't understand and wonders beyond my experience and my knowledge. Job confesses it all. Confronted with the vast reality and power of the Creator and the cosmos, Job is left with one response. I'm worthless. What can I say? I'd better hold my hand over my mouth. I'll say nothing more. Amen.